Riddler's asking for you.
Riddler's latest. It's all about the Waynes.
You lied to me, Alfred.
Maybe this is all coming to an end.
I got you! I got you! Take that, you friggin' psycho! I got you!
Some event, huh? Brought out the one guy in the city more reclusive than me.
Thought you'd never leave the shoreline. Aren't you afraid someone will take a shot at you?
Why? Because your father ain't around. Oz, you know Bruce Wayne?
Wow, is that right?
His father saved my life. I got shot in the chest. Right here. I couldn't go to no hospital, so we showed up on his doorstep. Operated right on the dining room table. Kid here, he saw the whole thing. Up on the stairs looking down. I remember your face. You don't think that meant something he did then?
It means you took the Hippocratic Oath.
Hippocratic Oath. That's good.
You're pretty good at that.
Welcome back, everyone. This is my new Batman trailer video. There's a whole bunch of new scenes and footage, so we'll break it all down. The movie's out this week, so if you're brand new to the channel, I am doing a giveaway for movie tickets. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and just leave your favorite moment from any Batman movie on the video. I'm supposed to be seeing the movie Monday night, so my review will probably post Tuesday morning, so look out for that. Be sure to go see the movie as soon as you get the chance. But one of the coolest things here is that big scene of Carmine Falcone, Bruce Wayne meeting Carmine Falcone as an adult, not totally remembering their shared history together, and it's this big scene from Batman the Long Halloween that a lot of you longtime comic book fans will remember. A lot of scenes from the movie are directly ripped right out of Batman the Long Halloween, although they've changed some of the story, so it's not literally a copy-paste version of the Long Halloween in live action. But if you're getting Long Halloween vibes from a lot of these scenes, it's on purpose. Matt Reeves even said that one of his early screenwriting teachers at USC who encouraged him to become a filmmaker was Jeff Loeb, the person who wrote Batman the Long Halloween. So the circle of Easter eggs is now complete. The student has become the master. When Carmine Falcone is telling Bruce Wayne this story about how he came to the steps of Wayne Manor, bleeding out, asking his father, Thomas Wayne, for help because he was a doctor and he couldn't go to a hospital because the police would have arrested him, that's a moment that came right out of the Long Halloween. During the Long Halloween, Carmine Falcone tells this story to Bruce Wayne, and it's while he's trying to get him to bring his billions of dollars to mob-controlled banks. But in the comic book, Bruce Wayne doesn't want to have anything to do with him, so it's a very similar vibe during the movie. Bruce Wayne as an adult in the movie only sees him as this really evil figure in Gotham who's slowly destroying the city. So he's trying to do everything he can to get rid of him, but as he says, he rarely leaves the docks. This is only Batman Year 2, so he's still trying to find a way to take him down. And the reason why he hasn't done it yet is just because he hasn't found the right opportunity. But Carmine tells him this story about how, as a child, he saw him watching them from the staircase as he was bleeding out on their table, like in their living room as his father stitched him up. And he feels like that connects them somehow, like that moment was such an important event in his life that Bruce Wayne was a part of. He thinks it connects them in this deep way, even though, as I said, Bruce Wayne in this moment here doesn't want to have anything to do with him. The reason why he mostly stays at the shoreline, as Bruce Wayne says, is because that's basically the area around the docks that the mob controls. It's how they import and export all their illegal goods from Gotham. The other big action scene where Batman goes after Penguin in the Batmobile, also a really cool scene, takes place near the docks, it seems like. During the events of this movie, Penguin is a relatively low-ranking member of Carmine Falcone's crime family. The way they explain Penguin's arc through this next era of Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman is that it's going to sort of be like Scarface inside the Batman universe. And they'll really dig into that during the Penguin Batman HBO series that they're going to be doing in the next couple of years.
We're doing a Penguin show with Colin, which is going to be super cool, and we're working some other stuff too, but we have started talking about another movie. But, you know, right now we'll just put it out in the world. I'll try to enjoy this.
But I think the scene of Bruce hearing the story of how his father, Thomas Wayne, saved Carmine's life is probably meant to foreshadow how Batman, later in the movie, will be forced to try and save his life when the Riddler targets him, eventually, targets Carmine. Even though he doesn't want to save Carmine, it's this classic Batman moral argument. Do you kill the villains, or do you let them die so that they won't return and do the same thing again in the future? They had a huge joke about this during the Peacemaker episodes when Peacemaker was arguing with that old man neighbor who's a Batman stan about why he thought Batman was terrible because he always tried to take his villains to prison.
You see, Batman doesn't kill people.
Because
He's a dark creature of the night.
he's a jackass who wrestles with murderers dressed like clowns and throws them in prison.
And if it wasn't clear, during the Peacemaker episodes, when they were talking about Batman, he was referencing Ben Affleck's Batman because the series takes place inside the DCEU, unlike the Batman movie, which is taking place on Earth too. Completely different universe. The clip of Batman fighting Catwoman for that little book from the safe also seems like it's taking place inside the mayor's old house where they found his body, but it could be someone else's house because this scene is also right out of Batman the Long Halloween. In the original comic book, it was taking place in Carmine Falcone's house after he'd been murdered by the Holiday Killer. But in the movie, this seems like it's one of Batman and Catwoman's earlier encounters between the two of them. So it seems like it's happening relatively early in the film, which is why I think that it might be the mayor's house. Because the way they've been presenting all these trailers, it seems like he's one of the Riddler's first victims. But the actual book that they're fighting over probably just contains some evidence linking all of the Riddler's victims to some larger plot involving Gotham City's renewal project, the Riddler's tragic backstory, maybe the Gotham City orphanage. That's what this other scene is all about too. Batman standing in the center of this giant chart trying to plot the connection between all these victims. There's also another clip of Batman and Alfred talking separately about Wayne Enterprises, and it's all about Batman not caring about the day-to-day Bruce Wayne stuff that he has to do as heir to this massive fortune in Wayne Enterprises' Fortune 500 company.
Counting friends at Wayne Enterprises are coming for breakfast.
Here. Why?
Because I couldn't get you to go there.
I haven't got time for this.
It's getting serious, Bruce. If this continues, it won't be long before you've nothing left.
I don't care about that. Any of that.
You don't care about your family's legacy?
What I'm doing is my family's legacy.
Alfred is basically telling him that the accountants from Wayne Enterprises are coming to visit him, quote-unquote, to talk about some of the ways he's spending money or not spending money. The way that all versions of Batman blow through their wealth through the act of just being Batman, just spending it on being Batman, all their gear, all their technology. The way that Robert Pattinson explained Batman at this point in his career is that he has no interest in being Bruce Wayne. Like, he thinks of himself mostly as Batman. He spends all of his time that he can being Batman. That's why Carmine Falcone is joking with him about him being even more scarce than he is. Like, I'm a mob boss, and somehow you are more scarce than I am in public. Speaking of Batman's gear too, there is a new clip where Robert Pattinson talks about this current version of the Batsuit. And obviously it's a very early version of the suit. It will evolve over time.
The suit does not make him invincible. It's just a few panels of bulletproof armor, and the rest is how much Bruce believes in it and how much his adversaries are scared of it. I like the handmade nature of everything. You can see the construction. It's an element of showing how do-it-yourself his version of Batman is.
His tactical knife is actually stored as part of his chest plate and is actually his Bat logo.
Even the Batmobile looks like something he's built himself in his basement.
I love the way he basically says that the suit is just like a couple pieces of bulletproof armor stitched together and that's it. They also confirmed this long-running fan theory that we all had when they dropped the first test footage of the actual suit. Everyone saw the Batman symbol in his chest there and thought, you know what, it actually seems like he could pull that out and use that as a weapon. The costume designer, the props people confirmed that that is his tactical knife. Like, it's his bat symbol, but he can also pull it out and use it as a tactical knife. But like I said, the movie's coming out next week. Be sure to go see it when you get the chance. I'll name a giveaway winner when I post my review video on Tuesday. All my Easter egg videos, my full breakdown, any post-credit scenes that they have, all that stuff will start posting later next week after the movie comes out in theaters. So be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss that. Everyone click here to learn about Mr. Freeze showing up in the future Batman sequels and the spin-off series, and click here for my brand new Morbius trailer video with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.